Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first Instagram Live for the month of February. My name is Jenna Morrow, and I am your host today. On this Instagram Live, we have a very fabulous guest that I will be interviewing. Her name is Tosh, and I'm going to add her to this video right now, so just give me a minute. Okay, she has been invited. I see everyone joining. Hello. I would love for you to tell me your name and where you're located. Oh, there's Tosh.
Hello.
Hi, Tosh. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, Jenna. How are you
I'm
doing?
doing all right. I'm really excited to interview you today and have you share more about your experience as a designer, but also a user of Foyr. So
I'm excited
let's get
too.
into it. So first, Tosh, tell us a little bit about you, where you're located, what your focus areas are for design, residential, commercial, and so on.
So my name's Tash or Tashoya. I am based in the UK, Essex, London, and I started my design journey, I'd say about 2020.
Very nice. And do you focus on residential, commercial, a little bit of both?
I do a little bit of both, but
Okay.
mainly residential projects I do work on.
Okay.
And I would
Wonderful.
love to work on more commercial. That is the goal.
I'm in the same boat. I want more
Mhm.
commercial in
I
2025, so
think
I'm hoping for both of us.
it just challenges you more and gets you to explore different, ways to use spaces and things like that. So yeah, I look forward to maybe what's to come.
Yes, I agree with you. I'll be keeping up with you on here to see what projects you've got for the year. But nonetheless, tell everyone that's tuned in a little bit about your journey. What made you get into interior design?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I've always had a creative mindset. From a young age. I always, would change my room or just alter little things. And it just always started from, those little odd changes at home. From then, I was looking for my first property. And that was in around 2018, 2019. And I started to look at show homes and things like that. And you get a lot of inspiration just from looking at online Pinterest boards and things like that. And it sort of inspired me to want to put my own stamp, firstly on my own home, but others as well. um, from there, I started studying design and I did get a diploma in design. From there, I branched off into, just trying to create mood boards, explore different interior styles, things like that. And I then began to offer that as a service. Um, that was like the start of my design, I'd say, career and actually working with other clients. Because prior to that, it was, you build your portfolio just by working with like family members or friends and doing little things for them. And I always felt like it was key to have an element of like some sort of DIY and a unique piece to a project. So I did at the same time, just explore DIY skills and other ways to sort of recreate things that I might have been inspired by. Um, so yeah, going back to the mood boards, that was like one of the initial services I did offer. And from then, that sort of led me to looking into expanding my business because I'm like, I can do mood boards, I can put concepts together. I've, got the knowledge on, a bit of the psychology behind design and how to actually gauge a client's needs
Right.
and, how to evoke a certain feeling or mood from a space. And it kind of just continued from there. I started to look for the best software to use.
Yeah.
And it's quite difficult because every software is different. They have their own benefits, they have their own pros and cons.
Right.
My main thing when I was looking was I wanted a software, number one, that was easy to use.
Mhm.
Second of all, that produced high quality renders that looked realistic. And then the other thing was, how do I transfer a furniture piece that I found online that I've chosen for a client and I want to show them what it looks like in this space? What software will allow me to take that furniture piece and transform it into 3D easily?
Yes.
And
That's
as I was searching, I trialed and errored with various different softwares, but I came across Foyr.
yeah.
and the quality of the render stood out to me first of all. And then as I was on my trial with them, I just noticed how easy the turnaround was to get the 3D models, and I
Yeah.
think that's what's kept me with using the software.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's definitely one of the features that I love and appreciate the most about Foyr. And so, you know, as designers, it's one thing to be able to create a mood board and a concept, but you can take your business to another level when you can offer very high quality renders. So
For
like you
sure.
said, your clients can see exactly what they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
So you found Foyr, you landed on it, you fell in love with it, as did I.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, I agree with you, it's very easy to use. Would you say, how did you learn how to use it? I was self-taught, and I think that speaks to how easy it is. How
Exactly.
did you learn how to use it?
I'd say I tried, you know, just to play about with the features myself. It's mostly self-taught, to be honest. But I think the good thing that they do offer is an initial call just to get you used to using the software. And I think knowing that you've got a point of contact, especially when you're new with the 3D design world, it's good to know that, you know, I can ask a question and get a quick response or get a response within 24 hours. And they do often set up, you know, one-to-one calls if you are stuck in a certain area or need to be shown something. So yeah, that really helped me at the beginning. And they have got some videos online as well that I did use.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to creating your own furniture yourself. Like, for example, if you wanted to erect a false TV wall, like what I've got behind me, for instance.
Right.
You know, it's sort of, they've got a create mode where you can actually create a false wall and things like that. But it was mostly self-taught, I'd say. I did, you know, ask for the odd help here and there, and they have got the live chat as well, which is also helpful, and I have used them sometimes.
Yes. And I think that's another benefit of it is you're never alone. If you ever get stuck, they're just literally a phone call or a chat away. So that's another thing I love about them, because sometimes I do get stuck on these designs, especially when I'm experimenting.
We can't know everything.
Yes, yes. So I'm like, hello, Foyr, help me. And they're always there to help. So I love
Always.
that. So we talked about, you know, what drew you to it. We talked about some of the things that you use within it. If you had to narrow down the features, the three of your favorite, what would they be?
Okay, so the first one would be the 3D modeling feature where you can take the furniture, like I said, and they will transform that into a 3D model so you can implement that into your designs.
Right.
And the other feature I would say is the creating the product feature. Just like I was saying with making, you know, a TV wall, or, you know, even something like a radiator cover or a pillar or something like that. You can create all these things yourself.
Right.
It's a good feature. And then, of course, the quality of the renders.
Now, I have to ask, there's four different types of quality you can select. There's HD, 2K, 4K, 12K. Are you a 4K designer or a 12K designer?
Good question. I'm a 4K girl.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I go for 4K. However, it's package dependent. So I have different packages that I offer to, you know, depending on what the client chooses.
Yes.
And for example, if I am offering, you know, maybe just 2 revisions for the client, I would opt for just a standard HD just to show them the first draft. And then when I have agreed the final design, I will go for the 4K option.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. We have been using 4K, but recently I just upgraded my membership, and so, or my subscription, and so now we use 12K. And
What's
I
that
think
like?
it's, so I love 12K when you have those really small details, because it really it just pulls them out more. So if you have a detailed design, texture, small accents, I think 12K is great. Otherwise, 4K, I have no problem with 4K. I mean, all of them are great, but for me, it's either 4K or 12K when I'm giving something to the client. But if we're working internally, I'm like HD or 2K will be fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Because sometimes it's not worth the credit if it's not a final, you know, output.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's good to have those options, because I think HD only uses, is it 1 credit?
I believe it's 1,
2?
and then it goes 2, then 4, then 6.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's great that they even have those options, like you said, because if you
Hmm.
are a designer who has different packages or you have different, choices for clients and how often they can make
Hmm.
changes, it will save you credits. If you
For
don't use
sure.
them all. Now, speaking of credits, do you ever use your credits to do a 3D walkthrough?
So I have done a few 3D walkthroughs,
Okay.
yes, but again, it's dependent on what package the client chooses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, how have your clients responded to that functionality and being able to literally walk through their space and
Mhm.
see exactly how to look?
I think the benefit of it is just the fact that they can actually get a sense of realism rather than just looking at a static image. It sort of takes them on a journey.
Mhm.
And I think even when I am, as a designer, marketing myself online, it would look more appealing. Like me, myself, when I'm looking at designs online, you might want to watch an interior show because you get to actually see the journey.
Right.
And I think, yeah, the walkthrough always provides a journey rather than just a moment.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. And I think also it
Mhm.
helps people orient themselves. At least for me, sometimes my clients are like, where in the room am I standing in this picture? Whereas with
Mhm.
the walkthrough, they can orient
Yeah.
themselves and also see how spacing is accounted for. So that's why
Hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
I know we started late and you have a call coming up, so I want to be considerate of your time and also questions. So I have one more
That's
question
okay.
for you, and then we'll
Mhm.
take questions from everyone who's tuned in. But what
Okay.
would you say your design style is? I looked at your work and I think it's beautiful. And I know what
Thank
I would
you.
consider your style to be, but I'm curious what you would say. And also, how has Foyr helped you use your design style, but also experiment with other design styles?
Oh, that's a good one. So I'll start with the first bit. I'd say my design style would be modern contemporary
Yes.
with touches of Scandinavian touches.
Hmm.
Um, I do like the Nordic and Scandinavian minimalism, the clean line, stuff like that. And I have got a neutral color palette,
Yes.
which I am now trying to challenge myself to sort of branch out from.
Right.
I have been actually working of late with other designers, and I think that's obviously another benefit or another market that Foyr Neo has sort of put me in, because I'm now able to offer services to other interior designers where I can do the 3D rendering for them and save them that time.
Mm.
Um, and in doing that, I have been able to explore other styles as well. Um, I've got a client that really makes me use color and maybe gold accents, a bit more maximalism compared to my minimalism, I'd say.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and I think the good thing with Foyer is that you can literally, let's just say you've got a sofa and it might just be a standard grey sofa, but you are able to use the software to then, present different color options to your client.
Yeah.
So yeah, it works. It works really well, to be fair. And yeah, it allows you to play about with your style, play about with color, and I will definitely be branching away from just a standard neutral color palette for sure.
But your standard neutrals are beautiful, so don't
Thank you.
think that you need to eliminate them. But I
I
understand
guess
wanting to experiment.
I guess everyone's got their signature style as
Yes.
well,
Yes.
and that's the good thing about having different interior designers. Everyone, clients will go to a certain designer for different reasons, and if they know that I can produce a certain color palette, a certain interior style or scheme, then yeah, I guess that's good. But I think being able to show that I can also work with other interior styles as well is also good, which is what Foyer is definitely helping me with.
And it helps with portfolio building too. So I really
Definitely.
appreciate that. We're gonna take a few questions. So you've got one, which is how much time do you think Foyr Neo saves you per project?
Ooh. I'd say in terms of time, it depends because every project is different,
Mm-hmm.
and it depends on how many revisions the client wants and how many changes they want to make. Um, and I guess the complexity of the actual project itself.
Great.
Because we can't, even though we're designers, we can't always get the design right the first time. And it's there for a trial and error and to also, teach you along the way. I don't know how to answer that question and give a specific time as to how much it saved me, but I think the benefit in it overall is the fact that you're able to save your clients money in the long run and time, because you're able to show them what they are going to get before they spend any money.
Right.
And I
Right.
think that's the benefit in it.
I agree. It's hard to quantify it.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. It saves time. It just creates a clear vision. It makes it easier for you and your client to align and have clarity
Mm-hmm.
around
For
how the space
sure.
will look and what they want it to have. So more than anything, I think it impacts client satisfaction and project alignment more than I would say it
Mm-hmm.
saves time.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
Someone said you said you put some furniture that you saw in a store in the render. How?
So
This may be hard to answer without having Foyr up, but you're
yeah.
welcome to just like explain. Maybe you find it on the website and maybe you select like.
So what I would do is, let's just say I've gone onto a website and it's got a chair, an accent chair that we want to use in the living room. I would then take a screenshot or download the picture of the item, save it to my computer. Then I'd go to Foyr Neo and there's an option to create your own 3D model or furniture
Yes.
model. You literally upload the photo and you would put in the specifics of the measurements, of the depth of the chair, the height, the width, and the material, and any other details that are relevant to that product.
Right.
Literally, once you've submitted it, Foyr will generate that within about 24 hours or less
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. And they
And so
will literally send you an email and say it's
right.
ready and you can just use it. Yeah.
So it's something that their team creates for you. You just
Mm-hmm.
provide all the information,
That
and then
is
they
it.
do it, and that's it. So it couldn't be any easier.
Literally.
You just what you want. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 3 minutes left. So another question is, what features in a design software make your job easier, and how do you think Foyr Neo helps your process?
I think I've probably answered this, but
Yeah.
the features, again, I would say is the quality of the render. So being able to give your clients a virtual reality of what to expect,
Mm-hmm.
allowing them to feel the space before they've spent any money, sort of like try before you buy,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And the other feature was creating models yourself. So being able to actually, you know, erect a false TV wall or something like that yourself. And the other feature, like I just said in the previous answer, was the ability to literally take a photo and transform that into a 3D model and implement that furniture piece into your design.
Yes.
Um,
Agreed.
I'd say it's made it easy because of the quick turnaround and that Foyr gives you from these models that are generated. And it just allows the client and designer relationship and journey to be a bit more, what's the word? Smooth, I'd say.
Yes.
Because a lot of the time you can see what you're going to get. So when it comes to installing the actual project now, you've both got a guideline to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So very minimal mistakes at the end result.
Agree. And I think sometimes non-designers or designers who are just beginning in the design industry have to think about the fact that a client is giving us a huge investment of their money. It is our job to give them the same amount of investment of our time and our attentiveness to detail. And the way to do that is to show them every single piece as much as we can, exactly how it will appear when it's time to install it. And so I think using Foyr and using those features you mentioned allow us to do that. So it, like you said, it makes the process smoother, but it also just builds that trustworthy or
Sure.
that trust between client and designer, so that if they ever come back around again, or if they ever want to refer us to someone else, they can say, oh, they made it so easy. I was able to see my space before I invested more money in buying furniture and decor and having it set up. So yeah,
For
I
sure. And
agree.
it's definitely an investment. I think that is a key word because, I think some people may not understand what goes into the designing and what we actually do behind the scenes. So, you know, I think the 3D designs themselves actually, sells us in another way so that we can put it in a brochure and actually say to people, this is the work I've produced, rather than just saying, here's a house, this is what I've designed.
Right.
It's sort of giving them a bit of the behind the scenes insight as well.
Agree. I agree. Tosh, this was so great. I can't thank you enough for your time. Before we sign off, though, let everyone know where they can find you. Tell us your website, if you have an Instagram URL. I know it's this, but this is the one for your business or for you? For your business,
So
right?
this is my business page.
Okay.
So it's TMI design underscore underscore.
Yes.
And that is my interior design page. I have got a home collection, so a homeware collection, and that is TMI collective underscore.
Okay.
It's all in my bio as well. And just to announce as well, we will be going live with a new podcast as well, which is all interior related, home decor, dilemmas, things like that.
Love.
And it's called Into Interiors Pod.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
love that. And do you have an
Yeah.
Instagram account for that too?
Yeah. Into Interiors Pod. It's in my bio as well.
Okay. And
And
then what
that's
is your
with
website?
two other designers as well. So
Okay.
we've actually all used the design software, and it's actually, helped us along the way. And we will actually be talking a bit more about Foyr on our pod too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all tune into her podcast. You said it's in your Instagram bio, right? The podcast and the collective.
Yeah.
And then what is your website URL?
My website is www.tmidesign.co.uk.
Wonderful. Tosh, thank you so
Thank
much. All
you.
of you, thank you for tuning in with us today. We'll be back with more Instagram lives, but for now, we enjoyed our time with Tosh. I hope you did too. Tosh, thank you again. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jenna. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.